Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello guys, today I will tell you a long and beautiful story about Prophet Ibrahim. This is a story about faith, courage, patience, and trust in Allah. I will tell it with simple English so we can understand it together. Now, let us begin. Prophet Ibrahim was born in a place called Babylonia in ancient Iraq. The land was beautiful, full of farm, river, and big buildings. But the people who lived there had a big problem. They did not worship Allah. They worshipped many idols, statues, and even stars. Ibrahim grew up in a society full of wrong belief. But even as a young boy, his heart felt that something was not right. Ibrahim's father, whose name was Azar, made idols for a living. He carved them from stone and wood. People came to buy the idols and prayed to them. One day, little Ibrahim looked at his father and said, "Father, why do you make this thing? They cannot hear, they cannot speak, and they cannot help anyone." His father did not like this question. He told Ibrahim to stop talking to and follow the tradition of their people. But Ibrahim continued to think deeply in his heart. As he grew older, Ibrahim saw people praying to statues every day. They placed food for the idols. They bowed to them. They asked them for help. Ibrahim asked them, "Why do you worship these statues? They cannot do anything for you." But the people became angry. They said, "Your father did this and your grandfather did this, so we will also do the same." Ibrahim knew this was wrong. He went to beat them to the truth. Ibrahim did not stop thinking. He went to find the real God. One night he looked at the stars. He said, "Maybe this is my Lord." But when the stars disappeared, he said, "I do not like things that disappear." Later he saw the moon, bright and beautiful. He said, "This is my Lord." But when the moon went away, he said, "If it goes away, it cannot be my Lord." Then he saw the sun, shining strongly. He said, "This must be my Lord. It is the biggest." But the sun also said. Ibrahim said, "My Lord is the one who created the sun, the moon, and the star. My Lord never disappear." After understanding the truth, Ibrahim said clearly, "I turn my face to Allah, the creator of the heavens and the earth. I am not one of the people who worship idols." This was a big moment. He chose faith over tradition. He chose truth over the ways of his people. But this choice would bring many tests. The people of Babylon had a festival. They all went out of the city to celebrate. Ibrahim did not go. He said he was sick. When everyone left, he went to the temple where many idols stood in long rows. The idol had food in front of them. Ibrahim looked at the statues and said, "Why don't you eat the food? Why don't you speak?" Then he took an axe and destroyed all the idols. leaving on the biggest one. And then he put the axe in the hand of the largest idol and left the temple. When the people came back and saw their idol broken, they became very angry. "Who did this to your gods?" they cried. Someone said, "There is a young man named Ibrahim. He always talked badly about the idols." So they broke Ibrahim and asked, "Did you break your gods?" Ibrahim pointed at the biggest idol and said, "Ask him. He has the axe." They said, "You know he cannot speak." Ibrahim replied, "Then why do you worship something that cannot talk, cannot hear, and cannot defend itself?" They were shocked, but instead of accepting the truth, they attacked him. The leaders decided to punish Ibrahim. They said, "Burn him, protect your gods." They made a huge fire, the biggest fire anyone had ever seen. The flames were so strong that even getting close to the fire was dangerous. They placed Ibrahim on a large catapult to throw him into the fire. At that moment, Ibrahim said calmly, "Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil. Allah is enough for me, and He is the best protector." When Ibrahim was thrown into the fire, Allah commanded, "O fire, be coolness and peace for Ibrahim." The fire did not burn him. The flame did not hurt him. People watched with shock. They saw Ibrahim sitting peacefully in the middle of the fire. This was a clear sign, but many people still refused to believe. After that miracle, many people became jealous and angry. They did not want to follow Ibrahim. They only went to protect their tradition. So Allah told Ibrahim to leave the land. Ibrahim traveled with his wife Sarah and his nephew Lut. They moved from place to place, spreading the message of Allah. After leaving Babylon, Prophet Ibrahim traveled for many days. He walked through desert, valley, and mountains. He did not have a big army of a large group of followers. He only had his wife Sarah, his nephew Lut, and his strong faith in Allah. No matter where he went, Ibrahim continued to teach people. Worship Allah alone. Do not worship idol. Allah create the sky, the earth, and everything in them. Some people listened, many others did not, but Ibrahim never gave up. After traveling for some time, Ibrahim and Sarah reached Egypt. Egypt was rich land with farm, river, and great king. The king heard about Sarah beauty and wanted to take her, but Allah protect her in a miraculous way. Every time the king tried to approach her, he became weak and could not move. The king understood that Sarah was protected by Allah. He apologized and gave them many gifts. Ibrahim and Sarah left Egypt safely protected by Allah's mercy. Years passed. Ibrahim and Sarah became older. They still did not have a child. Ibrahim prayed, "Oh Allah, please give me a righteous child." Sarah also prayed, hoping for a baby, but she was growing old, and she thought they could not have children anymore. Still, they had deep trust in Allah. Sarah wanted Ibrahim to be happy, so she said, "Ibrahim, you may marry Hajar, my servant. Maybe Allah will give you a child through her." Ibrahim agreed. Hajar was kind, gentle, and obedient to Allah. Soon, Allah blessed Ibrahim and Hajar with a baby boy named Ismail. Ibrahim loved Ismail very much. He was grateful for this gift. When Ismail was still a baby, Allah gave Ibrahim a difficult command. Take Hajar and Ismail to a far land. Ibrahim did not know the reason, but he trusted Allah. He traveled with Hajar and the baby until he reached a hot, empty valley, a place with no water, no trees, and no people. This place is now known as Makkah. Ibrahim left Hajar and Ismail there with only a little food and water. When the food and water began to finish, baby Ismail cried. Hajar felt scared, but she believed Allah would help them. She ran between two hills, Safa and Marwa, searching for anyone who could help. She ran back and forth 7 times. This even later became for part of the Hajj. On her 7th run, she heard a sound. It was the angel Jibril. He struck the ground and water flowed from it. The water is called Zamzam, a miracle from Allah. People still drink it today. Will the Zamzam well bird came to the valley. Caravans traveling through the desert saw the bird and came looking for water. Soon, people began to live around the well. A new community formed in Mecca. Ismail grew up strong and kind. Hajar raised him with passion and trust in Allah. Ibrahim visited them often, even though he lived far away. Years passed. Ismail became a young boy. Ibrahim loved spending time with his son. One night, Ibrahim had a dream. He saw himself sacrificing his son Ismail. Prophet received command from Allah through dreams, so Ibrahim knew this was a test. The dream came again and again. It was truly command from Allah. Ibrahim went to Ismail and said gently, "My son, I saw in my dream that I must sacrifice you. What do you think?" Ismail with strong faith answered, "Father, do what Allah command. You will find me patient, inshallah." This was a moment of great faith from both father and son. Ibrahim and Ismail walked together to the place of sacrifice. On the way, Satan tried to whisper to them, but Ibrahim rejected him 3 times by throwing stone. This act later became the ritual of Rami al-Jama'at in Hajj. They continued walking, trusting Allah completely. Ibrahim let Ismail down. He covered his son's eyes so he would not see him suffer. He raised the knife and prepared to follow Allah's command. At the moment, Allah sent the angel Jibril, who called out, "O Ibrahim, you have fulfilled the command." Allah replaced Ismail with a ram from paradise. Ibrahim and Ismail passed the test with perfect faith. This moment is celebrated every year as Eid al-Adha. After the test, Allah ordered Ibrahim and Ismail to build a place of worship. They built the Kaabah, stone by stone. Ibrahim would place the stone and Ismail would bring them. As they worked, they prayed, "Your Lord, accept this from us. Make us among those who submit to you." The Kaabah became the center of worship for Muslims around the world. After the Kaabah was built, Allah told him, "Call the people to come for Hajj." Ibrahim said, "Lord, how can people hurt me? I'm only one man." Allah replied, "You call, and I will make your call reach the people." Ibrahim climbed a hill and called out, "O people, come to house of Allah." His call traveled across the world, and people still answer it today. Later in life, when Ibrahim was very old, angels came to him. They brought him good news. "You will another son, Ishak." Sarah was surprised because he was very old, but the angel said, "This is the command of Allah." So Ibrahim was blessed with two sons, Ismail and Ishak, who both became prophets.